Welcome everybody to our Friday morning workout number 35. So as always, just let's give some people another 5 seconds to get on the broadcast, and we'll get right to work on today's lesson and training. So again, welcome to the broadcast. All right, so did you have a chance last week to go through the training from last week? Let me know how how you felt after doing the Ki training and developing it. If you missed that episode, please go back and watch it. It's very important, especially for you as a martial artist, and just using it as well. Even if you're a non-martial artist, you should still try to develop that power with your voice. So please go through that training from last week. Today, let's talk about and let's go back to basics. I love to go back to basics and cover the foundation. The foundation is the breathing. And I want you to go through another pattern, another way to breathe. You've learned the first one I showed you, which was inhale for 5 seconds, hold the breath for 20 seconds, and then exhale for 10 seconds. Did you master that pattern? Let me know in the comments section. Can you easily do 10 reps of that breathing pattern, one after the other? So let me know if you've mastered that. And if you haven't, then spend some time developing it. All right, let's focus on another way to breathe. It's called box breathing. And box breathing is very simple. If you have not heard about box breathing before, I'll briefly go through that pattern. It really does a square. Each side of the square is time. So let's say 4, 4, 4, 4. So you would inhale for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold the exhale for 4 seconds. It's a bit different. It'll feel weird. It'll feel a bit different holding on the exhale because you're used to holding on the inhale. Now, all these breathing patterns helps you relax and release stress. And it also helps brain elasticity, or it brings blood flow to the brain. And we all want that. The more elastic the brain is, the longer, then we can mold it, shape it, and in another way, you can keep learning. If the brain is elastic, then we keep learning forever. But if we're stuck in a certain way, either physically or emotionally in your thinking, then you might stop. We're supposed to learn forever, but sometimes some people might have a closed way of thinking. And at a certain age, they stop learning because they think that at 50 or 60, that you can't teach a dog new tricks. But I believe, and it's been proven, that the brain will keep its elasticity forever if you challenge it. So this is a way to challenge the brain by doing box breathing. So try it. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, now hold for 4. Now on the exhale hold, you will feel uncomfortable, and that's normal. It'll just pull the air in and then release and then start over again. So I want you to focus on that this week. This type of, when you take time to meditate, just switch it up to this pattern instead. There are many ways to breathe, to force different results. And this is a great one. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. What you'll feel after is a deep sense of calmness. But you want to increase blood flow to your brain. So try it. Next thing today is meditation and movement. I love to do a movement or weapon training to get me in a zone, a state, where I don't think of anything else but whatever I'm doing. And if you have space, and if this interests you, there's some weapons that I love to work, like the bow staff. If you can work the bow and integrate it into your meditation, it's very, very beneficial for your coordination, for the connection from your brain down to your arm and your body, just making sure that you're wired correctly and that your nervous system is firing on all cylinders. So you can watch me do these movements, and if you're interested, I will post a link in the comment section. I do have this on DVD. If you want to buy that DVD, just go to the link that I'm going to post in the comment section and then just pick it up for like $30 some. It's very cheap, and it really goes through all the details of really mastering the bow. Example, figure eights. Just doing figure eights. And focusing on speed and flow. It can be a simple movement. Like when I teach these moves to new students, it's always surprising to me, and not surprising at the same time, that a lot of people have a hard time just doing this movement and just understanding how to relax your wrist and go through the motion. So this is a downward X, and we chamber. Then we can do an upward X. Right? Relaxing the wrist and mastering the movement, and then change hands. Do your left hand and also do your right hand. I like to do a trinity attack. A trinity attack is when I chamber my weapon, I stroke through and come up to my ear and I cut across. That's my move. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Right? So I do 2 moves on the bottom and a 3rd move on the top. So when you flow and across. Then when it feels good, then you do this side. You cross this side instead and you cross this way. And then you repeat. Right? And you go through just building that move. For me, weapons is a way to meditate. And the more you do the bow or the nunchuck or the bokken, it really connects the mind and the body. Because if your thoughts are not clear, you're not able to move like that with flow and finesse. They're like interconnected. So for me, it's a way to make sure that my mind is right. If I can do the weapons, my mind, my thoughts are aligned. I'm clear, I'm relaxed. But if I'm stressed out, I'll go back to a weapon. It just helps me clear my mind and focus on that moment. And to do a meditation, but to do an active meditation. So there is benefits to sitting down comfortably in a chair and doing the breathing. But there's also, for me, just as important, when you do martial arts, when you move and you don't talk, it's not done with a partner. You can, but in this case, just by myself, me and the weapon. And I just focus on sharpening my movement, my coordination. For me, it really does wonders for me, for my mood, my mind, but again, to make sure that my mind is right. If I can move smooth with finesse, so I'm in the right state. Then obviously you can start handing off to your hand, right? Like I can go from one hand to the other. And I just do that. I just flow like that. I go 1, 2. And just try to execute the movement as smooth as I can. Then I go behind my back, right? And I go again. I try to mix them together, right? I do this one, and then I do this one, right? And then I can mix in this one, right? And then I come back to my flow. So 1, 2, and hand it off to your other hand. And then you can practice doing the left side, and then practice this hand instead. And then practice going behind your back, right? And then practice going over to this side. and just focusing on reps and reps and reps and reps, and I forget. My conscious mind is just shut down, and I just allow my instinct, like the unconscious, to take over, and it relaxes me. So the bow, for me, has always been one of my favorite weapons for that, for meditation. So I want you to think about that. What other weapons could you do alone that centers you, calms you, and tests your mind? So for me, martial art training is always feedback. If you can do something, if you can learn fast, and if you can have the coordination, it just means that your mind is right. If you don't get it, or if you're having a hard time with it, then you should double up on your motivation and excitement to learn it and to master it. Because once you can move the weapon smoothly, automatically the mind gets stronger, you're more well connected, you can feel better, you can control your emotions better. So there's many benefits to mastering a weapon. Again, I'm gonna post the link if you want to pick up that DVD. It's very valuable, and I know you will enjoy it, and you'll review it often so that you can master the moves as well. So box breathing, and do meditation and movement. Find something that you can repeat and do high reps of, and just focus on, you're in the moment, but you're thinking only of that one thing. So this is what I want you to think about for this week. As always, master yourself. I'm Martin Patenaude, and I'll see you soon.